There was one small thing you were saying. What's some good news? This is a tiny thing that I noticed. You remember Richard Spencer? He's basically the organizer of Unite the Right, the white nationalist group that was marching in Charlottesville. It was all in for Trump. Not anymore. Here's his quote. He tweeted last night, "I deeply regret voting for and promoting Donald Trump in 2016.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. I mean, that's big. That's interesting.
Do you know why?
Well,
It has to do with
Trump,
the
like I
support of
said
Israel,
yesterday,
right?
Trump ran on not invading and not being a warmonger.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, here we have Joy Behar, who is citing a white nationalist because she agrees with him that Trump's about to drag us into war. No, do not cite the white nationalist Richard Spencer to try to own Trump. Don't do it, View, The View, whatever. Don't do it. But here we are. Oh, my gosh. Anything to get just if it can be used as a Trump is bad, people just, it's a compulsion. They can't help themselves. Richard Spencer, who was also they had a clip of him on Jake Tapper's show, too. I mean, they'll use these individuals, these odious people, they'll use them for their own purposes as long as those purposes align with taking a cheap shot at President Trump. It's just flatly not true. I mean, people kept saying, "Oh my gosh, we're going to be in this whole have what seems like the opening of a new era of relations with Iran, where they understand we're not messing around anymore." And like now, really, Trump has told the Iranians the big boys are in charge now. Okay, this administration is not messing around. We're not playing games. So you want to be treated like a country that can actually sit at the table with real players, or you want to continue your rinky-dink nonsense? And, but that means we're going to war with Iran. Really? If they're such warmongers, and I mean, if the Trump administration are such warmongers, why is Trump the one who's always trying to pull troops out of Syria? And everyone's, "Oh, no, you can't do that. You can't do that." Trump's the one who's always telling the national security apparatus, including generals, many of whom have been completely wrong on what's going on in Afghanistan. And there's really credible accusations now they're misleading the public, that there are 4-star, 3-star generals who are misleading the public about the truth of our stability operations in Afghanistan. And, we sit around, we say, okay, well, hold on a second. Trump is the one who's always saying, we're not going to do this. We're not, let's not leave troops there. Let's pull troops out. When we're going to, his approach is when we're going to go in hard. We're going to mess up the bad guys, and we're not going to sit around and play games about, but we don't want to be too mean to ISIS. No, air campaign all in. Back the Kurds, wipe out ISIS, get them done. But then we're not going to stay and do stability operations. We don't want to have a long, protracted military occupation of Syria. We don't want to continue an endless and honestly fruitless occupation of Afghanistan. And we don't even really want to do it in Iraq either, although it's a little bit of a different situation there because of the regional instability issue with the Islamic State next door, or the remnants of the Islamic State next door. And yet we're always being warned that Trump wants a war with Iran. In fact, if you step back and look at what has really been happening, Trump is trying to get us not into wars, to end wars, and people are pushing back on him for trying to do that, including a lot of Republicans, a lot of people on the right. But now with Iran, it's, he must want, the president, it would be insane. And people like me, I will tell you this right now. Unless the Iranians, the Iranians do get a vote in this, and I understand that. If, God forbid, but if, the Iranians went full on, psycho-terrorist, and which they've done in the past, but they started deploying suicide bombers into, civilian areas and going after U.S. targets abroad or here, and they kill a lot of people. Yeah, but then they've brought us into a war, and we can't operate from the psychology of, we can't push back on Iranians in other areas because then they may take an action that will force us to go to war with them. Because any rogue state, any rogue nation can decide at any point in time that they're going to force you to go to war with them by their actions against you. But that Trump is looking for a war is just not supported by the facts. And The View, if you're going to The View to get your foreign policy, you might as well go to, my man Jesse Kelly to get your advice on eating keto.